beautiful people, welcome back to the Canada Info channel. My name is Wolo. I am a regulated Canadian immigration consultant based in Manitoba, Canada. And guess what? It is snowing today. We've had good weather for almost 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden it snowed this morning. But anyway, this is the province we've chosen to live in, and we are accepting the snow as it is. We don't have any choice. So if you've not given me a thumbs up, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. I don't want to go back to my ways of telling you to destroy the like button. You know, I used to say that, but just give me some thumbs up to encourage me. And I want to say thank you for all the nice comments you left in the last video. I have taken note of all your recommendations and will use them when I decide to travel to Nigeria. I'll keep you informed. Okay, so today's video is about immigration pathways that do not need a family connection in Manitoba. As you are aware, a lot of people need family connection to be able to immigrate to Manitoba. Manitoba is popular for that. If you don't have a sibling or a cousin living in Manitoba, it will be difficult for you to get a provincial nomination. But there are pathways in Manitoba that you don't need family connection for, and I'm going to be telling you these details or all these pathways so that you can take advantage of them. And the good thing about it is that some people have taken advantage of these pathways and are already in Manitoba. And I'm happy to live in Manitoba. At least I am blessed that I was able to, help support my family members to come in. A lot of people who are here are also happy that they've been able to support their family members who have come into Manitoba or who are in Manitoba. Okay, so let me not waste too much of your time. The first pathway is actually the Morden immigration pathway. Morden is a small community in Manitoba. You do not need a family connection to immigrate to Morden. The only thing you need to do is to check their website if your occupation is in demand in that particular community. If it is in demand, you submit your application and they will go through it. If they need you, they will send you the next details and then probably invite you for an exploratory visit. Luckily, one of my YouTube followers I did this video sometime, I don't know when, but it's been long I did the video about Morden. He was able to use the information and he's currently in Manitoba. So I'm going to tell you the occupations that they currently need. You will see the information on their website. They're looking for early childhood educator assistants. They are looking for cooks. They are looking for welders. They are looking for mechanics. Sorry, I'm looking at where I wrote them down so that I don't mix them up. They're looking for woodworking machine operators, industrial painters, and nurse assistants. So that is what they are currently looking for in this particular community. You do not need to have a family member living in Manitoba for you to apply for this particular provincial nomination pathway. So if you're outside Canada, go ahead and apply. It's strictly for people who are outside Canada. If you're in Canada, you apply, they will not respond to you. Strictly for people who are outside Canada with no connection to Manitoba or any other province anywhere in Canada. So go ahead and apply for this particular pathway if your occupation is actually in demand. Number 2 pathway where you can immigrate to Manitoba without a family connection was announced sometime in March this year. And it is the Winkler and Rural Municipality of Stanley immigration pathway. It's an economic-based pathway such that they are looking for people who can get jobs in that community. It's an open system such that you put in your application, a selection committee will look at your application, and if they feel your occupation is needed in that community, they would give you a recommendation that would give you a provincial nomination in Manitoba. So you do not need a family connection for this particular pathway, and it's strictly for people who are outside Canada, not for people who are in Canada. And I'll be leaving the website on the description of this video so that you can see the details. So they started in March and they opened their portal, I think once in 2 months, which means either once in 2 months or quarterly, I'm not so sure. But the next time they will open the portal for people to submit the application will be in January. I think I'll put the details on the screen so that you can see the details and you get your documents ready. You have to be immigration ready. You must have written IELTS, evaluated your credentials, and prepare your CV. If your occupation is what they need, they would, like I said, the selection committee will select your CV and give you a recommendation for provincial nomination from MPMP. So that's number 2 pathway. Number 3 pathway is Destination Manitoba. So this is for French speakers. If you're a bilingual person, or if you're from the Francophone countries, specifically for Francophone people, if you're from any of the Francophone countries, African countries like Cameroon, Senegal, Morocco. So what Manitoba does is that they go to these countries to look for bilingual people who can live in Manitoba and then give them provincial nomination. Sometimes they'll invite you for an exploratory visit. If you like the place, then you submit your application for provincial nomination. And they announced that they will be visiting Cameroon November 28th to November 30th to talk to people who want to immigrate to Manitoba. So if you're a Cameroonian living in Cameroon, please, I think it's already late to even register for this particular visit. It's already late, according to what the website says. It's already late to register, but just take note that this particular pathway does not need any connection in Manitoba for you to actually apply for a provincial nomination or get a provincial nomination. You do not need a family connection for it. So just watch out for anytime they make announcements for Destination Manitoba. They go to different places in Africa and different parts of the world. So, sometime at the beginning of this year, they went to Netherlands. Now they are going to Cameroon. So this is the 3rd pathway to actually get a provincial nomination without a family connection. The 4th pathway is the Manitoba Strategic Recruitment Initiative. Now, if you have been following the draws, you always see Manitoba Strategic Recruitment Initiative. This particular pathway does not need any Manitoba connection for you to get a provincial nomination from Manitoba. In essence, the Manitoba government, some of the employers, they reach out to MPMP office and say, okay, we need workers. And then the Manitoba government will look out for workers in different parts of the world and give these people job offers that will make them eligible for provincial nomination. Then they will apply for a provincial nomination without a Manitoba connection. So the last recruitment exercise that they did was actually to the Philippines, where they went to the Philippines to recruit nurses to come and work as nursing assistants. And I think they gave about, I don't know, I can't put the figures in total, but they gave substantial amount of nurses employment offers to come and work in Manitoba. They used to do that back in the day. Before I even came to Manitoba, I read somewhere that they were inviting Nigerian nurses to come, and then of course, you know, our people, one thing led to another, the whole thing scatter. Anyway, that is sad. So now their focus is actually in the Philippines and some other parts of the world where they go recruit people. And then if any other Manitoba employer is interested in recruiting somebody from outside Canada, they also get provincial nomination through this pathway, and you don't need a Manitoba family connection to actually get a provincial nomination. The next pathway is the international student pathway. So for international students, of course, you come to school in Manitoba, there are other immigration options that will help you to apply for a provincial nomination without a family connection in Manitoba. So I just want to clarify this, right? If you come to school in Canada, you school in another province, and you want to come to Manitoba to see if you can get provincial nomination, they will deduct 200 points from you. So instead of you to go to another province to school, just come to Manitoba so that you don't get that deduction. A lot of people are stranded, you know, trying to see how they can get provincial nomination, and they are not because they didn't school in Manitoba. So this is another immigration pathway that does not need a family connection to Manitoba. The next immigration pathway that does not need a family connection is the Rural and Northern Immigration Pilot. It's actually a federal immigration anyway. It has nothing to do with MPMP, but I just said I would mention it in this video so that people who are not aware should be aware that you can actually get a job offer in any of the 2 communities selected for the RNIP, which is Altona and Brandon. These 2 communities have been selected. They advertise job offers in these communities, and if you get a job offer, you can apply for permanent residency through RNIP. This is not related to Manitoba, but this is another pathway that you don't need a connection in Manitoba for you to get a permanent residency status. The last but not the least is a pathway that is very expensive. It's a business immigration pathway, and one of our Nigerian, she's a community member as well. She's been following my videos, and she was able to use this pathway to come into Canada and come into Manitoba. So the business immigration pathway is quite expensive, but if you are interested in that pathway, put in your documents, and then if you meet the requirements, they give you a provincial nomination. So this is the information I said I was going to share today. I think I'm missing one. I just remember now that I'm missing one other pathway. It's a business immigration pathway anyway, which is quite expensive, so don't worry. So all these details, I'll put them in the description box of this video, and just make use of this information. And if you need more details, right, you can book a consultation on my website, and then we'll have a one-on-one conversation to map out a strategy on how you can immigrate to Canada or immigrate to Manitoba. It is snowing this morning. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to share this video to your loved ones, especially if you know that your occupation is not on the list of occupations that are looking for, but you know somebody whose occupation is actually on the list and the person is struggling to come to Canada. Please don't be stingy. Please, people know me that I'm a very generous person. Don't be stingy. Go ahead and share this video with that person, and the person will be thanking you for sharing that information. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in my next video. Bye bye.